Andscape, the ESPN website that used to be the Undefeated, they wrote a piece about white quarterbacks being the leading rushers, or 4 white quarterbacks were the top 4 rushing quarterbacks in the National Football League this year. Josh Allen at 579 yards, Justin Herbert at 498 yards, Jackson Dart at 487, Drake May at 450. And Andscape, of course, reached the conclusion that, this was some sort of anomaly or just something. They framed it in a way to push the racial angle. Because at one point they wrote that black quarterbacks were once demonized for daring to dart for a first down. And what they're arguing is that, white quarterbacks are now being celebrated for leaving the pocket and for running for first downs, whereas there was this era where black quarterbacks were demonized for daring to dart for a first down or to run the football. There has never, and I'm 58 years old, I've been following the National Football League probably since I was 5 years old. So I got 53 years of following the NFL. And there are others of you out there that follow it longer. There's not one piece of evidence that black quarterbacks were ever demonized for daring to run the football. That is just not true. What had transpired, black quarterbacks were criticized for not being able to play from the pocket. Criticized, never demonized. Second guessed, questioned, never demonized. That's a joke. And so here's the difference. And this will irritate people, I get it. But here's the difference between white quarterbacks and black quarterbacks. Or here's the difference between white quarterbacks and the media. Is white quarterbacks have sat and said, and this is what Andscape should have written about, hey, the NFL is starting to favor quarterbacks who can run from the pocket. Hey, the NFL, the league is moving towards the run RPO quarterback and a quarterback that can give you something with their legs. Oh, that's what they're rewarding? I'll do that. That's what white quarterbacks did. Here's what the black media baits black quarterbacks to do and black people to do. Oh, the NFL, back when it was years ago, they're rewarding quarterbacks and favoring quarterbacks who play from the pocket. And instead of telling and writing stories like, hey man, they're paying a lot of money for this. It seems to be successful. Seems to be how you win football games. Hey, black quarterbacks, learn to play from the pocket. Solution. Problem solved. Instead, what the black media did is they put microphones in front of black quarterbacks' faces and say, hey, man, shouldn't they just change the style of play and let you quarterbacks that can run lead their teams? Hey, Michael Vick, because I want someone to show me at any point when Michael Vick was demonized. He was celebrated for leaving the pocket, not playing from the pocket, and running around with the football. Randall Cunningham was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, being celebrated for running around and not always playing from the pocket. Never demonized. And Randall Cunningham never won a Super Bowl. Michael Vick never won a Super Bowl. And so the whole league is favoring and paying quarterbacks to play from the pocket. And guys like Phil Simms, who wasn't super talented, wasn't John Elway talented, Steve Young, Dan Marino talented, but because of his willingness to play from the pocket. And Phil Simms was a very good athlete and a very tough football player. But he won a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. And I think got a second one when he got hurt and Hostetler won the Super Bowl for him. But Phil Simms played from the pocket, even though he probably had the talent to move around a bit and do other things, but mediocre talent. And I mean that not disrespectfully. But what we see from the white quarterback and the white athlete is like, no, I'll adapt to whatever they're paying for, whatever they're promoting, whatever they're celebrating, whatever wins. Black quarterbacks, baited by the media, hey man, this system needs to change to favor you. This system is racist, and if it wasn't racist, they'd let you just run around, even though they believe and have proof that it's less effective than playing from the pocket. And so we've whined and complained our way into a league that now favors quarterbacks that move around and run around in the pocket and run downfield. And the white quarterback, instead of saying, hey, man, they're creating a league that doesn't benefit me and my whiteness, they need to change back. The white man has said, no, I'll adapt and I'll run the football. I can do that too. It just wasn't the thing to do. They didn't have offenses built for guys that would leave the pocket and would run around and do plays off script. Now that they do, I'll do that. And I'll be as good at that as I was as playing from the pocket. They adapt. We whine and complain and demand that everything be changed to favor us or what we think favors us. You're watching the NFL change in real time, and you're watching white quarterbacks adopt to what the NFL has changed to. They're winning, they're performing at a high level, and bada bing, bada boom, we're down to the final four teams. And in the year of the black quarterback, it's all white boys. You can be mad at me. Whitlock's and Uncle Tom, he's a sellout. How come he doesn't tell us what we want to hear? Why isn't he making excuses for C.J. Stroud or Caleb Williams? Why isn't he saying it's racist? Why isn't he diminishing the white quarterbacks? Because I'm trying to tell you, rather than whine and complain, the best strategy is always to adapt. If they're not asking you to violate your values, in particular for someone like me, like my Christian values, if they're not asking you to do that, then just adapt. That's always the solution. Now, if we move outside of sports and it's like, hey, the adaptation, you have to surrender male authority. You have to surrender the patriarchy. And you're like, well, I can't do that adaptation because that violates my Christian values. That could cost me my salvation. That could create so much chaos in the world. Hold firm there. But if a football coach says, hey, man, I want you back here in this pocket playing from the pocket because that's how we'll win games, surrender and go along with it. It's not going to cost anybody their life. It's not going, Jesus Christ isn't going to be sitting there going like, I can't believe you're not an RPO quarterback. I can't believe you're not running around making plays with your legs. The white boys, whether it's playing from the pocket or leaving the pocket, they're willing to do it. Oh, that's what they're paying for now? I'll do it.